Hi, welcome to the garden. Today we're going to look at garden abundance and you. Today is Saturday. You know what Saturday means. We go to you and celebrate what's going on in your garden. And this week, we've got some new contributors from around the world. It rained like mad yesterday. These lemon drops are just wonderful. And the hardest work you're ever going to do in the garden is harvest. That rain that we got yesterday, everything's just taken off. These purple beans are wonderful. While I get a few more of these picked off, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of our friends from around the world. Nora has also been enduring more rain than usual, and her wonderful blossoms seem to be responding well. Nora, your colorful landscape ideas always start us off on the right foot. Thank you for sharing. Jim had to reduce the size of his garden this year, and even though he felt he started late, his heirloom tomatoes are flowering and will be loaded with fruit soon. Jim, this looks great. Thank you. Now the green ones blend in really well. Weren't those terrific? I invite you to become part of this community. We're a loose-knit community of people that like to get our hands dirty and grow things that taste good. Now with the rain we've had the last couple days, I'm going to have to get everything that's turning to blush off. They will split after all. If you're new to my channel, welcome. You've stumbled upon a guy that didn't want to weed anymore. And I came across something I thought folks might be interested in. Now, I'd never tell another adult how to garden. I'm just showing you what I do and the results that I get. And the abundance is amazing. Here in northeastern Oklahoma, we have had a substantial amount of rain for July. When you have a tomato tunnel like this, and they start turning to blush at all, you want to make sure you get them off before they split, because they will split very quickly. Here's another benefit of pruning and trellising all the time. You keep those lower leaves off the ground, you keep the disease from moving up your plants. Anytime you see any brown on the leaves, get them clipped out of there. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple more of our friends. Steve and Penny are new to this community and come to us from Pennsylvania. Steve and Penny are making the most of their small front yard and tree-covered back. Their plan is to refurbish the greenhouse and open the shady areas a bit to expand their growing area. I believe you're doing a great job this year, and your abundance will only increase as you execute your plan. Steve, Penny, thank you for sharing and welcome to this community. Even with the heat and the rain, Scott and Virginia are having a great year with lotus. And their okra have started to produce very well. Thank you guys for sharing. I'm telling you, our friends and neighbors are absolutely amazing. This is where we get ideas. This is where we get inspiration. This is where I get motivation to come out here every day. They're almost as amazing as how fast the tomatoes grow in this weather. Keep the suckers pruned out. And I go through these almost every day. It's amazing how fast they grow. You just want to gently wrap the plant around the string and give it some support. The reason we cut these suckers out is we're growing fruit, not leaves. These vines are all well over 6 feet long. Like I say, I wouldn't tell anybody how to garden. I'm just showing you what I do and why I do it. And I hope you find some of this helpful. Well, let me clean up a few more of these, and while I do that, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple more of our friends and neighbors around the world. Walter's small enclosed deep mulch garden is overflowing with abundance. What at first glance seems like a cage is actually a three-dimensional trellis system which maximizes production from a small area. Walter, that's very well thought out and executed. The abundance such a system creates is another reason we do this. Just look at the delicious dishes that come from this backyard. Walter, this is genius. Thank you for the inspiration. Larry's harvest from his small garden just keeps coming. Well done, Larry. And again, this looks so delicious. Thank you. Am I right or am I right? Our friends and neighbors are absolutely spectacular. Nobody's here to show off what their garden is doing. They're just wanting to show you what the possibilities are. We hope you join us. All you have to do is email me at waylandsmalley5@gmail.com. The address is in the description box below. I guarantee you all their gardeners would love to see what you're doing in your garden. And with the heat indexes well over 100 degrees off and on the last 2 weeks, the deep mulch has done really well for these plants. And if you were here the other day, you saw me use my wife's candle thermometer to take the temperature of the soil. Even though the ground temperature was well over 100 degrees, soil temperature was in the mid-70s. So the plants can take a lot of sun as long as their roots stay nice and cool. And that's one of the benefits of the deep mulch. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple more of our friends and neighbors. Lucy is new to this community and comes to us from South Wales in the UK. She wanted to share the abundance of her deep mulch garden. This is a wonderful testimony to the deep mulch. Thank you, Lucy, and welcome to our community. Nathan's containers and raised beds are overflowing with abundance. He added potatoes to the mix this year and is excited to see the harvest. This is terrific, Nathan. Thank you for sharing, and those are great ideas for raised beds. I'm always just absolutely amazed at what our friends and neighbors do in their gardens. Now that we've made it down this tomato tunnel, let's go ahead and look down this other side. Yeah, this watermelon patch is doing pretty good. On this line back here, we did intercrop beets and onions here with the tomatoes. We're going to continue to do that as July progresses. It's a good idea to look down both sides, because what you can see on one side, you might not be able to see on the other. Anytime you got brown on these leaves, get them off of here, especially with the amount of rain that we've had. Oh yeah, we did plant some peanuts and some carrots in amongst here also. Now I did have a discussion on whether or not I was going to be able to walk down this path eventually. I guess I lost. The squash definitely has taken over. I knew they were going to get big, but usually the bugs kind of get after them. And we've been blessed the last couple of years with the abundance we're getting out of the deep mulch, especially with the squash. But if you can see here behind, that's not squash on the trellis. We planted beans in behind there, and that way I was assured to have a second crop if these died back earlier than I expected. Even in this heat, and even with the bugs that we're fighting, we're still getting off really nice squash. While I look for something else to pick, let's go ahead and take a look at another one of our friends and neighbors. Marie's Jamaica container garden continues to produce enough for her entire family and friends. Even though she'd like to have a little more rain, the abundance you produce from only containers is outstanding. Thank you, Marie. Please hit that like button. It helps YouTube push this out to more people that might want to learn how to garden. I'm telling you, our friends and neighbors around the world are awesome. Leave a comment and let everybody know just how much you appreciate what they're doing in their gardens. I think we got a couple butternuts that are ready to come off. Let me show you how we decide whether or not they're ready. The thing about butternuts is they will continue to root down along their vine. And this one has been attacked by bugs a little bit, but if you look right here, here's the first leaf off of this, and it has died back. Same with this little one. It doesn't matter how big they are, if that first leaf dies back, you're pretty much safe to go ahead and harvest. I got another one back in here that's first leaf is gone. So that's a pretty nice little squash. These are beautiful. And if we look down in here, this one, I'm going to leave on a day or two. It can get a little bigger. But I think these two are fine and ready to come in. And these two are ready to go. And the sucker we planted is still growing well. Oh, I see another one right there. Got another nice one right here. I got another one down in here. What'd that guy say? The hardest work you're ever going to do in a deep mulch garden is harvest. There's two more nice ones. We're keeping an eye on this one. Even though our Memorial Day sweet potato patch got pruned a little bit the other day by that critter, it's still filling out nicely. And our corn's tasseling. That storm last night bent a couple of them over, but I think we're going to be just fine. Did anybody say you can't have enough beets? We did intercrop beets in here. Let's go on down to Texas and look at one of our top contributors, Rob and Valerie, see what's going on in their garden. We've watched Rob and Valerie's container garden grow for some time. The flowers they added this year are beautiful. Valerie, you finally picked that loofah. That is great. I'm going to need some seeds. I know it's been extremely hot in Texas, but everything looks healthy and happy. And we do thank you for your continued contributions to this community. Your garden is simply blessed. Now you know I'm going to have to ferment some peppers. Those look great. And I can't wait till my watermelons mature. I'm happy to see that Allison was able to be home and share one with you. Valerie, Rob, thank you. That was terrific as always. Check out this basil. Now if you're diligent and you come out and take the flowers off, look how well it responds. I think we got some cherries that need to come in. Now you can do this too. And I do invite you to become a member of this community. Share some of your tips and tricks. I'm going to show everybody just what is possible. The abundance is available out there. All you got to do is put a seed in the ground, add a little water. And in the deep mulch, the hardest work you're going to do is harvest. And when I say weed-free, it's virtually weed-free. Oh, look, a piece of grass came up. Oh, it's gone. That's all the work you have to do. Second batch of carrots are doing really well. And over here, the first tomatoes we planted before we got that other frost, they're producing some pretty good sized ones. Come on. It's not supposed to be near as hot today as it's been the last couple days, but as that sun comes out, it is warming up quick. I don't know if you remember, but it wasn't very long ago we went ahead and put this up as a archway, well, sorta, and now look at it. There wasn't a thing out here except dreams for the harvest. Now I know why Grandpa had us 16-year-olds out there hauling vegetables. Hardest work you're gonna do is harvest. I think we had a pretty good haul this morning. You always want to keep looking. He's on the way out. Look what I found. I bet it doesn't make it into the house. That's why we do it, because it tastes great. You can do this too, and if you want to learn a little bit more about the deep mulch, click that link right there and I'll meet you right back in the garden. If you want to learn a little bit about the living soil, click that link right there and I'll meet you back in the garden. And until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant. Let's go plant garden.